my name, Judas Green. And your name, but not half as beautiful as one that owns it. Something like that in the city. And look, here's shoes to match it. And just like this, your size is your own.
My name is Hoffman. Hurry up, Daddy. Mommy will be home any minute now.
Oh, Dad.
Come on, sit down. Let's make a present.
Oh, I'd almost forgotten today was my birthday.
Go ahead and say it. Good night.
What's up, everybody? Today's a... Why? Why, Peter?
Hold on. We are having the same issue as that one.
My ADCNS arcade. Knives and swords are protected by the Second Amendment. Thanks, Tom Jefferson.
One sec. Ask them if they can hear you.
Hey, can you all hear me? Can anybody hear me? Am I just shouting into a void? My mom's meatloaf is better than your mom's meatloaf. I don't think they can hear me. Yes, no, they can hear me. Can you see me? See you, Andy. Okay, so they can see me. All right, I'm sorry. We're having a hard time with the tech today. Oh, wonderful. Okay, thank you, everybody. Sorry, I was gonna grab this thing because I was told you couldn't see me, but apparently you can, and we just can't see me. What a strange thing. We're on now. All right, sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody. We're back in business. Somebody asked, can you spend a little time on all the K390 knives you have available and what your overall opinion is about K390? So K390 is a very special steel. It's Bowler's equivalent of CPM 10V. So 10% vanadium, pretty much. It has incredible incredible wear resistance. So it'll hold its edge dang near forever, but also quite a fair amount of toughness. So if you hit a staple in cardboard, it's not gonna hurt you. Right now, K390 is only cooked in by Spyderco at BladeHQ.com. And if you can find it, awesome. It's a super good steel. I really like it. I don't love the blue that comes on it, but that's okay. You can handle blue, right? All right, average mountain biker. Hi, George. I was wondering if my PM2 and S45 VN and my Endura and VG10 will rust if I leave them in a sweaty pocket for about 3 hours and wipe the blades when I get home. I don't think they should. A sweaty pocket isn't super corrosive. I mean, if you had them covered in sweat and then added some hydrogen peroxide, they would probably get totally baked really fast. But I think that you'd be fine with that. I've carried S35 VN in my pocket and gotten sweaty. I've even gone swimming with it and I've been just fine. So I think you'll be good there. Blade HQ, please make a PM3 Warncliffe in M4. So that'd be cool. I believe the Warncliffe on the PM2 at least is an exclusive to somebody else. Hopefully that doesn't make it everywhere. Benjamin North Fork, what do you think of it? I like the new one a lot more than I liked the old one. I've learned that recurves aren't necessarily my jam, and now they've ditched the recurve and gone with a straight drop point, which I really like. Show us the axe behind you, please. Yeah, I can do that. This is the Hoffman Blacksmithing Fireman's Hatchet. So the fireman's axe is something that they use a lot for extrication purposes. The bit is really nice for like chopping through walls or chopping out a lock or something. And then the spike they use for shoving and prying, as well as to like anchor onto a wall or a roof. If they're getting somebody off, they'll just bang it in. Now normally firemen are carrying around a great big axe, but this is the hatchet size. I want to say it's a 19-inch handle. Very nice, and it has a secondary pin through it as well. So we actually have a little bit more Hoffman blacksmithing on the table today, but the thing you should know is they're a fairly small operation out of North Carolina, and they are hard to come by. They're expensive, and when they come, they go fast. Liam Hoffman made a name for himself on Forged in Fire, And ever since then, he has had no trouble selling his product and a lot of work keeping up with demand. Knives and swords are protected by the Second Amendment. They use arms. I mean, I agree with you, and hopefully, if Doug Ritter has any luck, the Supreme Court will agree with him soon as well, because he recently got tossed out of court because he was alleging that the Federal Switchblade Act, which regulates a lot of knives, is unconstitutional, and the judge threw it out saying, this law is so archaic that it will never have anything to do with anything. We're just not gonna let you sue because this is a law that is dead, it's unenforced. And he says, well, this sounds like a trap. So hopefully this stands as precedent that the Federal Switchblade Act is unconstitutional, and like Tom Jefferson says, they are protected by the Second Amendment. Braylon Becker, hey, I don't want to spend a ton of money on a survival knife. My budget's probably like 150, maybe 200. I'd like to keep it in 150, but I want a knife with a kite, sheaths, probably Kydex sheath and a ferro rod. Under 150, there's a lot of SE options, and you could they don't come with Kydex per se. They out of the box. They all come with like an injection molded plastic that functions a lot like Kydex. They don't have a ferro rod though. I would say the Mora Garberg would be a really solid option. You can watch the Dutch Bushcraft Knives video on that one. They beat the tar out of it, and it just holds up really well. Under 150. That's right, the Benchmade Puka has been discontinued. That one was under 150, and I would have sent you that way. Didn't have a Kydex sheath, though. Ooh. Yeah, I'd say SE4, and if you just added a ferro rod and a loop to the side of that, you could probably keep it under 150. But that's not a true Kydex sheath. But you can get aftermarket. If you're willing to go aftermarket on the sheath and keep it under 200, you could do an SE4. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That would be my recommendation. SE's warranty, price, and everything combined just makes them very difficult to beat for under $150 in the survival knife category. And they're USA made, extra perk. Still rocking a Kershaw Shy from 2005. Dang, Steve, that's a long time to be carrying that. Hoback did a hatchet, it was pretty awesome. Yeah, Hoback also did the Quachetti, and that one was so cool. I want that knife so bad. It's like a short sword. I include axes to be protected by the Second Amendment as well. I would as well, however, I don't know that I've seen any laws regulating axes. Maybe they're out there. I'm not a lawyer. My Journey EDC, love your shirt. Well, thank you. I like this shirt a lot as well. All right. Are the older Benchmade knives worth it? I think so. Most of my Benchmades are the older ones. My first ever Benchmade was a Griptilian, and I love it. Funny, as soon as I joined, you guys mentioned the Mora Garberg, been eyeing for a while. Yeah, I'd keep eyeing it. It's really good if you like Scandi grinds. I'd say if you want a Scandi grind under $100, the Garberg's the best option. All right, we gotta get you guys to 1 million subs. I agree, average mountain biker. That would be super awesome. I would love to have 1 million subs.
Speak about our last week's video.
Oh yeah. Hey, what'd you guys think of the last week video? We put out the USA Made video. I watched the edited version for the first time this morning, and they really leaned into my love letter to America. I do really like America, okay? It was just getting a little extra patriotic in there. Jake Stanford, how's it going? It's going great. How are you doing? I didn't carry a fixed blade a lot. It was my Bark River Gunny with a mirror polished S45VN and white linen micarta. Ooh, that sounds really nice. I really do like Bark River knives. I just have never been able to get one because they're really expensive, and I have a wife who wants me to retire one day. So one day I'll have a Bark River, but it is not this day. Okay. Nice shirt in the American Made Knives video. Hey, thank you. I wish that shirt was made in America. It was not. Ramon Cardenas. Yes, all right. I loved it. Thanks, Luke Dymel. So I hope most of you watched that video, because to win the knife we're giving away this week, you must have watched it. Sadly, if you had that many subs, George wouldn't be able to keep up with the questions. I would certainly do my best. What do you think is the #1 best folding knife? So best and my favorite are two different. My personal favorite is the Cold Steel AD10. And the best folding knife, I mean, a lot of people tell you the Chris Reeve Sebenza, and I don't have a compelling case to say anything against that, but Cold Steel AD10 is my official answer. George said he's giving away a Rockstead at 1 million subs. I mean, I didn't say that. I mean, I said it now because you said it and I was reading your comment. But I would imagine that once we reach 1 million subs, there will be some pretty substantial giveaways involved. Hit the like button, people. Agree, My Journey EDC. Yes, Cut Alive, Smiling Beard. Okay, let's talk about this giveaway real quick. This is, you got a natural G, oh sorry, this guy got a Griptilian I always wanted. The giveaway for this week is the the Concept Shard. The Concept Shard, this is a Kim Ning design, full titanium handle, S35 VN blade. This is a nice knife. Nice, smooth and actiony. I like how they use the S35 VN because that is one of the best balanced steels in the world, in my opinion. I'm excited for this one, and the winner of it is going to be the person who first answers a trivia question, the answer of which found in our last video, our USA Made Knives video. So if you've watched that one, keep in mind any of the gee whiz moments you had in that video because hopefully you'll be able to win this Concept Shard. Now, if you want to win, you need to be 18 years or older, live in the United States of America, and in a jurisdiction that I can legally ship this to. So long as all of those things fit the bill, then you can win. Hey, so I bought the Gerber Strong Arm, but it doesn't come with a ferro rod, and I would like an opinion from you on what is the best ferro rod for the price. So, well, let's start with best ferro rod. I really like Exotax ferro rods. My favorite one, the one I personally use when I go camping, is the Fire Rod XL. It's a full 1/2 inch thick. Really love it. But honestly, Blade HQ doesn't carry an abundance of ferro rods. Like, we have some, but not a whole lot. Most of the ones we have are actually packaged with knives. The Tops ferro rod is really good, and those Exotax, but those are all kind of pricey. Since this video is alive and what you're hearing now is not going to get published for the bulk of America, I'm going to tell you this. Bayite on Amazon. Their ferro rods are like $8 and they're really good. I'd check out one of those. All right, what's the best everyday carry fixed blade? Ooh, I mean, I'm carrying one today. So this is the Buck Alpha Scout Elite. This one's got a MagnaCut blade, a G10 handle, and a very nice Kydex sheath. This one goes for $200, and I just threw this knockoff discreet carry clip on there. I love this knife. It's just the right size. If you've seen the Big Idea Design Lookout, this kind of reminds me of that, except for basically the same price, you're getting USA made and MagnaCut. Now, it doesn't have the sexy titanium handles you get on the Lookout, but you win some, you lose some. Okay, last thing. Ben Peterson recent video seems to be taking a downturn recently. Have y'all experienced that at Blade HQ? Like, we've had better years than this year at Blade HQ. I wouldn't say that the industry is taking a downturn, but like, I mean, we talked to people at Blade Show, and Doug Ritter was saying that he's having a hard time securing donations to knife rights because a lot of people are really struggling this year, and inflation's catching up with us. That pandemic really did a number on our economy, and everything is getting more expensive, but wages aren't exactly keeping up with it. It makes sense that discretionary spending on knife collecting has gone down. Now, is it gonna be the death of the knife industry? I don't think so. We're gonna make it through this. We're gonna be happy and getting new knives for ourselves once again. But 2024 is gonna be one of those years that wasn't the best of the best of the best for the knife industry. But never fear, it will all be all right. Okay, what's in the pocket today? That was the buck. Okay. Everybody, thank you so much for tolerating my answers to these questions. I see there are more of them coming, and I'm sorry. They're telling me to get started. We're 15 minutes into this, and we haven't even done new knives. So, as always, I'm going to fall silent for half a second. We are going to cover all of these new knives as though this were just a regular video you see on YouTube, and that will be trimmed and posted. And then afterwards, we'll come back. I'll answer any questions you guys might have, as well as the ants will give away the Concept Shard. All right, let's do this thing. Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. Today's a very special day because it is July 8th, 2024, and on the table we have more fixed blades than folders and even some axes, and that is super exciting. Thank you all for joining us last week in our lives and on our USA Made Knives video, and for participating in our 4th of July sale. We had a great time. Hopefully you did as well, but now we're all back to work for the rest of the summer, and we're gonna start it off with some Hoffman blacksmithing. So here we have their 12-inch hatchet, And these are special because instead of the hickory or ash we're used to, these ones have a beautiful flamed maple handle on them. And I must say, I don't know too much about flamed maple as a wood. Generally, I'm a hickory and ash man when it comes to axes. In fact, on I got a used Holtzbrook and I put a Hoffman blacksmithing hickory handle on it. But in all typical ways of Hoffman blacksmithing, we have perfect grain orientation. We have a really nice handle with this beautiful flare out the back. It just locks it in. A nice heavy head, but not too heavy. You can still choke up and do the work. And a nice, really sharp convex edge on there. So it's gonna hold really well, it's gonna chop really well. I also love the way they finish the poles on these axes. Then ears, like this thing feels to me like an American-made axe with all of the trimmings that you loved about the Scandinavians. Very nice leather sheath. These are pretty pricey because this wood is cabinet grade flamed maple, which is not cheap. These are going for $450, I believe. $435, I apologize. And we have this version as well as the bearded version. So the bearded version has this big cutout here that you can choke up in. This one's probably a little more carvy, bushcrafty, but I generally prefer this. I like a little more weight in the head for the chopping and the splitting, and if I'm gonna do any of the more carving stuff, I'll use a knife. But there's a lot of people out there who like the one tool option, and that is where I would recommend this bearded one. So these are very limited supply. First of all, this is a rare wood. Second of all, Liam Hoffman has his hands full keeping up with demand. These all sell out fast. So if you want one of these, I'd go hop on the wish list and set your schedules so that you do not miss out on these beautiful hatchets. Next up, new from Beg Knives, we have the Microburst. And this knife is a strange thing because it's a knife that is tiny. Like, look at this, it's just so small. It's got a lot of milling involved, but when you open it, it feels like a big knife. It wants to do some hard work. It also has a very deep hollow grind on the blade, so it's gonna be very slicey and very pokey as well. Got a button lock, got a flipper, a metal handle with a lot of milling in it, and a lovely blue accent as well. I especially like the ball on the pocket clip. I think this is the future of pocket clips. We're gonna see a lot of this because this doesn't chew up your pocket, but it still detains really well. Very fun. This one goes for $119.20. The Beg Knives Microburst. Also new from Beg, we have the Galaxy. And this one has, this is one where it's like the exact opposite. This one looks tiny, but then is big. This one feels sleeker and slenderer than it looks, if that makes any sense. So if you look at it from this dimension right here, it's a lot thinner than you would think, judging based on how much contouring you're seeing. So it's gonna be nice and easy in the pocket, but that contouring really, really puts it in your hand nice. Easy to choke up on. Once again, a hollow grind. This one's got a G10 handle. This one goes for $89.60 and a very lovely button lock action. One thing I've especially enjoyed is sometimes on these thumb hole openers, they have a bit too much chamfer on the sides of them. And this one, if you flick it, it actually bites your fingernail. And sometimes when you flick it, you can see it shave a little bit of your fingernail off, like right there. And I personally like that because I know that it is really secure in my finger when I'm opening. So it's gonna be easy peasy to open it every time. Those are from Beg. Also, we have new Chavez here. This one, somebody in the comments was asking about this a few weeks ago. We have the Chubb OTF. These are going for $300. And these ones, they worked hard on them, and I think they knocked them out of the park. First of all, a very dependable action, doesn't come off track, easy to run, holds a standard utility knife, so if you're somebody who likes to fly, you can just pop this out, and this knife should fly, hopefully. I think it's in line with TSA regulations, but you never know what security is up to that day. And one of the things I like the most about these is you look at this surface texture. It almost looks like rough scratches from a grinder or something, but this is a very intentional texture they added. It doesn't chew up the pocket on this side, but it gives you just an ever so slight amount of grip, easy to carry. Get a 4-finger grip in there, land your thumb, get some hard work done, but still an OTF and a Chavez through and through. Love to see this USA-made product, made right here in Pleasant Grove actually. Chavez Knives is our next door neighbor here, and they made this in their shop. I got to see some pretty early prototypes in Ramon's pocket, and I'm just excited to see this thing hit in the market, especially at its price. $300 USA-made OTFs under 300 are few and far between, and I'm glad to see we have another one in the mix, especially with a beautiful milled titanium clip like that. Next up from Glow Rhino, we have the Bohr, B-O-H-R. If somebody has a better pronunciation for that, let me know. This one's a fun knife. This one has, I believe, a D2 blade. Doesn't say. DC53, maybe that's the blade steel. There's so many numbers to remember in blade steels. This one is a hunting knife to me. It's got a nice amount of jimping here, a standard blade. It's got a really deep belly in there, and that's what I think you're gonna get your slicing. Got the orange, and then in classic Glow Rhino fashion, we have a tritium vial here in the back of the tang. And this one is a big tritium vial that has 3 windows. We got one on the side, and on the top. So if you are on a hunt, I know that in hunting, you often are spending time at dusk and dawn. That's when animals are the most active. And if you're hunting at dusk and you nail that trophy, you gotta gut it, you gotta skin it, and it's gonna get dark on you. And if you have tritium in your knife, if you set this down in the middle of the night, you will be able to find that because that tritium will glow no matter what. Very exciting. Got a peel ply textured G10 handle with a different texture. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it before. But yeah, it's a fun knife, and we have a Kydex sheath for it that has this belt clip, sort of like the half width one. So it's gonna save some weight and space, which will be coming in handy when you are packing out your animals. Very exciting on the Bohr from Glow Rhino. These are going for $124.99. Next up, we have 3 new variants of Toor knives. So we have the Serpent, we have the Mullet, what a great name, and we have the Valor. And what's special about these particular ones is this G10 handle. We did the heavy metal a little while ago that had the beautiful carbon fiber handles with red liners. Here we have the Patriot, which has the red, white, and blue stacked G10. Now, Toor Knives is made in the USA by veterans. A lot of the knives they make have a battlefield tactical feel to them because that's the work that the people who made them were doing. And I love that we sort of have this because this gray-white handle color doesn't draw too much attention to itself because sometimes when you get those patriotic knives, they're great to carry in your pocket or whatever on 4th of July, but I wouldn't carry them to a war zone because they're kind of loud. But these ones, you get the red, white, and blue. It's as patriotic as you want it to be, but it also, from the front and from the side and everything, it looks the part. It doesn't draw too much attention to itself, and it'll do the job well. Now, let's see what the pricing is. On the Serpent, this one goes for $295, the Mullet is $325, and the Valor is $350. So, USA-made knives, very high quality, ready for a war zone, and now in patriotic G10. Next up, from Essie, we have new variants of the JG5. So this is a James Gibson design, and as you can see, it's kind of a Nessmuk-inspired design. And what we have is we have a couple of new micarta variants. This one's got the burlap micarta, and we also have like a burgundy linen micarta. Very fun, also with the nice leather sheaths. Made by Rowan Manufacturing in Idaho for Essie. This is a great knife all the way around. A very sharp spine. One of the sharpest I've felt. So if you're somebody who doesn't just like to scrape ferro rods, but also likes to scrape wood shavings, especially fat wood for making fires, this will be a very nice thing for you. Also, another thing I like about the JG5 is how slim the handle is back here. So some people don't like that. They feel like it kind of pries their hand open, but I really like how slim that is because it just, like, it allows you to close your hand all the way around it. So you got fingers contacting my palm around the knife. It feels really secure to me. Sure, it might not be as comfortable, which is all a matter of subjective opinion, as maybe those thicker handles that you'll find on like the SE6 or SE5, but I really like the thin here. Very nice James Gibson and Essie knives. Next up from Medford, we have the San. And this one is sort of a departure from Medford's style for me, at least. When I see Medford's, I see a distinct design lines as well as sort of a tactical feel. But to me, this feels like a woodsy, survival-y knife. We got a bow drill divot and a G10 handle, CPM 3V blade, and a beautiful USA-made leather sheath. It's nice. I think they did a good job on this one. It is a bit spendy, as all Medfords are, but just so you know, no stone is unturned on this thing. And also, look at the size of the Torx head. That's probably a T30 or T25. Absolutely gargantuan. This one goes for $425. So if you want a top of the line, ultra everything done for you fixed blade, I'd check out the Medford San. And lastly, we have ProTech knives. And the first is the TR2. This one's got the rose gold and the Shaw skull inlay. So a long time ago, we carried a bunch of Shaw skulls in the TR2 lineup that had deep milling. So Bruce Shaw would go in and he would mill the skull in, like engrave it deep. And that made for some very, very expensive knives because they were doing it in hardened steel. However, nowadays we have these with the aluminum handles and then a silver skull inlaid. And that makes for these going for $300, which is not bad at all things considered, because Bruce Shaw is still a master engraver. ProTech knives are still USA made, Magna Cut steel, some of the best autos on the market. $300 getting you a Bruce Shaw skull. What a time, seriously. Like, I know that things have been getting a lot more expensive as of late, but the fact that we're getting Bruce Shaw stuff for under $500 is one of life's greatest pleasures. And then lastly, we have the Godfather, and this one's got their beautiful dark green anodization. I don't know who they're talking to or how they're doing it, but this is the best green anodize in the business. I love this color. They had a TR3 come out with it and a Rockeye come out with it, and I was just so enamored with them. And now we have the Godfather, sort of giving you the tactical gangster look. This one goes for $225, so not bad on the price either. Anyway, that is all the knives we have on the table for today. As you can see, we didn't have much room for many more, but if you like knives like this, head over to bladehq.com and check out new arrivals. You'll see all of these as well as hundreds, if not thousands more, and you'll be sure to find the knife that is perfect for you. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Except everybody here in the live chat. Let's do this thing. When will the CJRB Pyrite Light be available on the site? I don't know, hopefully soon. That thing's really cool. When does the Sage and Rex 121 drop? I don't know, but hopefully soon. I hope so. I hope that I also have an expendable income when it does come, which is cool. When do we find store hours for you guys? I believe Google Maps has it. I don't know what the store hours are in Virginia, but I believe in Utah they are Monday to Saturday, 10 to 6. Damon Oaks, you rock, George. Hey, thanks, Damon. You rock too. Oats. There we go. Bishop Jackson, ProTech needs to make the Cambria again. They really do. I like the Cambria a lot. I was talking to Dave about it, and he says one of the big reasons they discontinued it was because the button lock wasn't quite up to ProTech spec. Now, in theory, they could just bring it back because they figured out the button lock so well. Best in the biz for those of the Malibu and the Mordax. There we go. Have a great day, George and the Blade HQ crew. Hey, thanks, Henry G. You have a great day, too. What would you recommend for an idiot-proof knife sharpener? I'm thinking maybe the Sharpmaker. The Sharpmaker is really idiot-proof. Hard to beat. You'll get a really sharp edge on that without too much effort at all. What are you carrying today? I got my half-face blades Cav Jr. I have my Buck Alpha Scout. We've talked about this a little bit before. I love this thing. It's just the right size. It was made for hunting, but in my opinion, it's an EDC fixed blade. Love it, love it, love it. What are the chances of another Tanto PM2 release? I hope high because I didn't get one and I want one really bad. SBR is small for my tastes. Yeah, I like the full-size Rockeye for my hand, but I think the SBR just has the good lines. It looks so good. All right, let's give away a knife, everybody. Everybody into that? Let's do that. So, once again, to win this knife, you must fit the following criteria. 1, you must be 18 years or older. 2, you must live in the United States of America. And 3, you must live in a jurisdiction I can legally ship this knife to. If you do not have those, then we will give the knife away to somebody else. And 4?
You've already won.
Oh yes, and 4. If you've won in the last 3 months, you do not get to win this one. We want to make sure everybody gets a fair chance. George, I put you in for a raise. Hope it goes well. I hope so too, Arkansas EDC. Okay, so to win this one, the first person who can answer the following question correctly will win the knife. The question is, what was the first Spyderco product? I approve George's raise. Thanks, Tyler Williams. Texas, baby. Patriot USA, Texas. Remember the Alamo and hook 'em. Runt? Nope. PM2 Tanto is a grail for me. Good. VA checking in. Should we repeat the question? Oh, portable hand. Caitlin Richens. Off the bat. Portable hand. Military Bally extra hand. Very close. Spyderco Gibbet. Triangle Sharpmaker. That's close. That's what you'll find on their website was the first. But it is actually the portable hand. All right. Well, Caitlin Richens, how do you want to reach out to us? Over Instagram or over email? If email, we need to let customer service know. But congratulations, Caitlin Richens. You have won the Concept Shard. Very nice and very fast too. And she was really close last week too, right? Yeah. Well done, well done, well done. Okay. Nice win, Caitlin. I agree. It was a very nice win. All right. Which is better, the TR3 or the SBR? Spyderco Gibbet 0. I would say if I had to pick between the two, I'd pick the TR3. It's just right. I really appreciate it. I knew that. Pressure kicked in. Email. All right. Caitlin Richards over email. Bama fan, peace. Bama fan. I'm not much of a Bama fan. I'm more of a UT Hook'em guy. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today on New Knives. I had a lot of fun. We've been going for 30 minutes, and that's a bit longer than they usually like us to go, so probably about time for us to sign off. But thank you all for joining us. We have another video coming out this week. Last summer, we had a video with Patrick Odolf of Mastro Defense MCC. I forget what it stands for. Oh my goodness, he's gonna kill me. He is an edged weapons expert. We did a big long video right here in the studio about picking a self-defense knife. And this year, we met up with him at his place and we went over some of the basics of using any knife for self-defense. So whatever knife you carry, you can find a way to use it for self-defense this upcoming Friday on our video. So please join us. Patrick Odol's back and he's better than ever. Arkansas EDC, George, your thoughts on the mini Adamas and carbon fiber and MagnaCut? I want one. I want one really bad. And if you get one, I'll be jealous. You prefer Benchmade or Spyderco? Don't make me pick between mom and dad. It depends on the day. But Spyderco? Maybe, don't kill me. I really like Spyderco. It's really good. I really enjoy speaking with Eric Glesser because I don't think anybody alive knows more about knives than him. And he has such passion, but he is so humble at the same time. A man I deeply admire. I hope to be like him one day. How's the Bradley Kimura Balisong? It's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's going to win any competitions in terms of like super hardcore flipping, but if you're looking for like an everyday carry Balisong that's great for actually cutting, the Bradley Kimura is great. Any chance we'll see another CEO exclusive in the green and bronze? I don't know. No idea. I'm not a buyer. What do you think of the Terminal List series? I have no idea. Is that a book? Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's great. All right, anyway, this has gone on long enough. We'll see you all again on Monday next week, as well as in the premiere of the video on Friday. But with that, we'll see y'all next time.